It's going to be up to 30 degrees today. It is currently 27. It is a Sunday morning at 107.7. Bishop is the name. Good to have you here. We are having brunch. We are talking about the carnival season. And in the carnival season, there's a lot of fetting. There's a lot of drinking, a lot of excessive drinking. And I guess all of that is fine within its own area. However, when you step out of your bounds, which means you get onto the roadways, then it becomes an entirely different matter. That's why we're putting the emphasis on that discussion here early this morning. It is my pleasure to welcome the head of the police branch, highway and police branch, Superintendent Mathura Singh. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Good morning to you.
Pleasant morning to you, Rennie, and to all our listening audience out there.
I thank you. Always it is good to have you here. These are difficult times for motorists who do the right thing. For the police, it is difficult for them because they now have to enforce the law to make sure that others who do not do the right thing, in fact, do exactly that. What are the police doing to clamp down on revelers who excess this carnival is my first question to you, sir.
Okay, well, as you know, during this time, we restrict all leave. All police officers are called out. Those who are on vacation, we call them out. Once you're in the country, we call you out. So we have additional manpower on the streets. So we are increasing our enforcement. It's not less education, more enforcement. But what we're also doing too is that some of those sets, we're doing some voluntary testing. Those voluntary testing that assist drivers who intend to drive to check themselves, see whether they are above the limit, and if so, they should not drive. So we are partnering with Arrive Alive, and we are doing several of those voluntary breath testing at the location of sets.
Fantastic. One of the things that I know has been touted as a very good thing is this idea of working with Fed promoters to ensure sobriety checks are done at the point of consumption. How involved is the police with this endeavor?
Certainly, we have engaged all not all, but most of those promoters who have in their sets. Mm-hmm. And like I just said, we the police alone cannot do it, so we partner with Arrive Alive, who also have some sober zone tents, and they work in tandem with us.
The Minister of National Security said that more police officers must leave their desks and be on the streets. You mentioned that you have canceled vacation leave, all leave for police officers, so you can have more manpower on the ground. In the area of the sobriety tests, the speed traps, the reckless driving, and like offenses, is the manpower adequate now? And will it be further enhanced by the recommendation of the minister that police officers move from behind the desks and get on the streets?
Certainly, as we enter closer into from the Carnival Friday, especially Carnival Friday, Saturday, Sunday, into Monday and Tuesday, all officers will be on hand. We'll have no desk officers. Everybody will be out on the streets. As it is now, we have those who are on leave, we call them out. And we are restricting some leave. For example, if you need leave, we give you just a day or two and we restrict it.
So you will have the manpower out there. Superintendent Mathura Singh is my guest. You indicated in October of last year that new road laws will come into effect from January, where motorists can be ticketed via the mail. That's if they're running red lights and so on. A demerit point system is being explored, you said, and pickup vehicles will be able to drive at 80 kilometers instead of the current limit of 65. Let me peg this off one at a time. I know the minister recently spoke on the issue of operationalizing the fixed camera. What is the position on that in the context of will it be ready in time for Carnival?
Unfortunately, we were hoping to get it before Carnival. Unfortunately, we are unable to get it before Carnival because it's to be tabled in Parliament in February, sometime this month. So we're just waiting on the government to have a table in Parliament because remember, it's the law which has to be enacted, But all the legal framework is in place and it has been sent to the ministers to take to Parliament. What we're looking at is the red light enforcement, the spot speed cameras, and the demerit point system.
Fantastic. My guest that preceded you, Mrs. Sharon Inglefield, she did allude to the demerit system, which is what the minister also spoke about. Is the demerit system also one that we will not see before Carnival? Is it something we should see in short order, or this will come along with the same bill that's proposed with the operationalization of the fixed cameras?
Okay, the three of them, the red light and spot speed, red light, and the murder, they're all on the same bill. So as soon as it's passed, they all enforce simultaneously.
Safety is a question, and here is a ticklish question for you, sir. While we all encourage citizens to follow the dictates of police officers. That's the first thing we say. A police officer instructs you to do so and so, follow it. These are very difficult security times. It does raise the question, it's a two-part question. One, are police officers, and those in the traffic division particularly, are they allowed to operate out of uniformed, one, and in ununiformed, unmarked vehicles? And if that is, well, let me ask you the two questions separately. Are they allowed to do this? This is traffic police officers, those who are enforcing the law, allowed to travel out of uniform and in unmarked vehicles?
Okay, we prefer to have them in uniform. We want the visibility.
Right.
However, if we have exercises and there is need, then they can be used.
And here is the reason for my question. I am a citizen. I am driving. I am concerned about crime as everyone is. Somebody comes in an unmarked vehicle and order me to stop. No matter if you try to flash a badge or anything, this is nighttime. I'm not going to be able to read the badge anyway. So my concern is trying to do the right thing, but endangering myself. Is it that these officers out of uniform must be accompanied by a uniform vehicle?
Certainly. If you have an exercise, there would be uniform officers accompanying those in plain clothes. We do not send them by themselves.
My intention, of course, is not to box you in, but I am going to reiterate, just for emphasis, at no time is a citizen expected to obey an order coming from an individual purporting to be a police officer who is not in the company of uniformed police officers.
No, I would not say that, because you see, there are we have officers who attach to the criminal investigation department, and other special branch. They are operating in unmarked vehicles and in plain clothes. I'm not saying, but these vehicles, you must see but they must identify themselves. You must see their badge before you comply with them.
But you do understand what I'm alluding to. I don't want to. I want the reason I ask you here, and we have these discussions, is to encourage the citizenry to cooperate with police. That's what we want them to do. But these are very tough times, and I would be more comforted if I have an ununiformed police officer in an unmarked car come to me, and I see that there is a marked car somewhere around. That gives me that comfort. But if someone pulls up to me, purports to be a police officer in an unmarked vehicle out of uniform, and it comes up to me and say, do so and so, I'm not too sure I would be easily disposed to stop because of fear of personal safety.
I agree with you. I mean, because of the trying times now. But each situation is unique on its own, and we'll take it as the situation develops. But you should comply with officers, even though they're in plain clothes. Once they properly identify themselves, you should comply.
I concur with that, sir, and I encourage that. I'm not too sure I can tell you that I'm going to read a badge late in the night. I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you, okay? but I do understand.
I understand the concern.
And thank you for entertaining the concern. It is 10:32. My guest is Superintendent Mathura Singh, who is the head of the Highway and Patrol Branch. We're talking about road safety coming into this carnival. With the high ingestion of alcohol during carnival, Superintendent, there is the question of sexual harassment and an increase in domestic violence is anticipated. How better train the officers to spot and treat? This is on the street now. How better are police officers trained to spot and treat with these instances involving the traveling public? Someone may be in a car, be cowering in the corner, maybe pleading for help, but don't want to say it straight up. And I mean, how trained are our officers to see these kind of situations?
Well, what happens is that you find the officers who are more experienced will easily pick up these signs. But the younger officers, with time, they will get on. But generally, officers are equipped to deal with these things based on the experience and the training that they get.
You see, because oftentimes, as you are aware more than I am, folks will go out with a date, for instance, everything is fine, and you put a little of the joy juice inside of there. The next thing you know, the whole relationship becomes totally different, and then you may have some physical abuse going on inside of there. You may have coercion going on in a way, and you may have eyes just crying for assistance. So that is the reason why I asked the question.
Yeah, I know, quite often, because, we stop motorists, we inquire from passengers to, okay, are you okay, everything okay, and we look for telltale signs. Yeah.
So we are aware of that. That is good. I'm very happy to hear that. Let's talk about one other area. I have seen it happen a couple of times, and where officers are involved in roadblocks and stuff like that. And the discourtesy that motorists encounter is something that's been lamented a lot of times. Any special retraining or information has been passed on to officers applying the roads and trying to enforce the law that civility is also a part of their responsibility?
Well, we advise our officers that once you're on the road there, you assess the situation, you look at the inconvenience. You cannot check every single vehicle.
Right.
So you check vehicles at random, you check vehicles, and you look at just make sure you can see the end of the traffic close to you, so that it doesn't go back miles an hour away. So this is an advice which we give to our officers, and a lot of the time you have senior officers now out on the road, and because of communication, too, people sometimes call in, and when they call, we get in touch with the officer and say, okay, release some traffic, and operate in that manner.
Fantastic. Superintendent Mathura Singh, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. I do want to ask you in conclusion, any tips you have for motorists, the most frequent infractions, how can motorists avoid it, and the best practices as suggested by the head of the Highway and Patrol Branch?
Well, Rennie, before I go to any tips, I just want to just give a little last year, what happened last year.
Please.
We observed that 1/3 of the fatalities on the road were pedestrians. So we want to tell these pedestrians, please be careful, look out, think twice before you cross. I remember as a kid going to school, you tell you look right, look left, and then look right again before you're crossing. Sometimes people just step out from behind vehicles and walk across. This cell phone again. You hook up in the air, talking on cell phone. You're not cognizant of what's taking place around you.
Yes.
So I am asking, first of all, I'd like to talk to those pedestrians. Or you are part of a road user. Please be vigilant. Look out for those vehicles that might be coming. Because of all the deaths for 2016, 1/3 were passengers, the other third pedestrian, and the other were drivers. It's pretty alarming. So I want to even mention to passengers, you in a vehicle, you observe a driver driving recklessly. You have the right to talk to him and tell him, hey, what you're doing is wrong.
He may not listen, but then you get out of the vehicle and then you report it.
Exactly. No, so you have that right. And you could even stop to ask him to get off your vehicle. Right.
That area you've been...
happening
Please go.
Quite often, motorists tend to run the yellow light. Instead, the amber light tells you must slow up. You treat it as a red light. However, quite often in this country, you see they run it. They try to get out of it.
Right.
They get through the intersection before the light changes to red. So I want to advise motorists, please comply with our laws and do not try to run those amber lights.
Is it possible we'll be seeing a lot more police vehicles on the road? Because I'll tell you why I raised that. We see, as motorists, people running the lights. I mean, they see the green, they ignore it, they go through them. There's nobody to enforce it. I mean, in so many places you can see it on one stretch. Even if you took from, let's say, from Mausica, take it all the way down to Port of Spain, in the run, you may come the entire route and not see a police vehicle, see people breaking the law and doing it with impunity. In addition to when you do see a blue light and you feel good when you get by the Beetham Estate, nobody's in the car.
No, they are in the car. They are in the car.
I'm being tongue-in-cheek because I don't see them.
No, they are in the car, but we have them there for special purposes. But they are static in case any motorist is in trouble. They are there to assist.
Okay.
But I'm surprised you saying you haven't seen them from Mausica coming down the road. But we normally at least have 2 cars every day on the roadway. At least 2.
All right. Well, I can speak of at least 3 instances where it has happened. Not consistently, not continuously, but I have seen instances where I go the entire route and I don't see officers particularly. And if they are there, it's just that I don't see them. I don't see the flashing lights, and I don't see them going after drivers who are clearly running yellow lights into red. But anyway, that's just
I know. I'm glad you highlighted that. I would make sure that I address that situation immediately. I'll call the inspector and ensure that we wrap up and step up our activities, especially for this Carnival season.
All right. And so you were concluding, you touched on those 2 areas. Any further tips for our road users? Yes.
Again, all the laws are there. You just have to comply, obey the police instructions. Do not overtake on your shoulder. Do not throw things off your windows, because that will cause distraction, cause accidents. So we'll advise all motorists to take heed, be careful, do not drink and drive.
You guys do a lot of hard work out there. Please at no point think that it is not appreciated by the citizenry at large. So in thanking you, I thank all the officers who are doing diligent work to keep us safe. I thank you so much for taking the time to be with us this morning, Superintendent Mathura Singh. I am sure before Carnival is actually on us at the end of February, you and I will be speaking again.
Okay, thanks for having me.
I thank you very much, so you have yourself a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. It is 10:40 in the morning. You're listening to Brunch. We're doing this all the way up until 12 o'clock. We've got coming up next a discussion on something that's on the top of everybody's lips. It's a conversation that cannot be trumped. You got it? Good. I'll be back.